Hey everyone, today I'm going to be swatching, reviewing, and showing you the look I did with the Colourpop Orchid U-Not palette. This is a very beautiful palette, and you get 9 eyeshadows, so if you want to see my thoughts on this palette, the look I did, and swatches, just keep watching. Now that you guys have seen the swatches, let's talk about this palette. First off, I want to say as soon as I saw the color story of this palette, I knew I wanted it. I love dark purple eyeshadows so much. Like, honestly, those are my favorite grungy type shades, and the fact that this is primarily purpley makes me so happy. I love the shimmers in this palette, and I love the ratio of shimmers to mattes, and I just love the colors of the mattes as well. The look I did, I used a lot of the eyeshadow, so I do know the gist of how these apply, and they apply very beautifully. I had no issues whatsoever. Everything blended pretty well too, which is kind of astonishing for super dark shades. Usually it's more difficult, but these ones were pretty good, so I'm very happy. The palette also swatches really well. I had no issues whatsoever. I would, however, recommend for the shimmers. My cats are going crazy. I'd recommend for the shimmers you use like a primer, a glitter glue, or like have your brush wetted, because these are definitely more intense if you use a wet base, and they're softer if you don't. I'm sorry if you can hear my cats going crazy in the background. They're crazy today. But I do like the shimmers. I just wish they were just a tiny bit more impactful upon initial application, because like I think for like a metallic shimmer you shouldn't have to use like glitter primer or a wet brush or anything, but regardless, I typically use glitter glue, so it's fine. I do wish that they would have put in a lighter transition shade, because as you guys can see, even all the shades are dark. Even the lightest matte shade is still decently dark, to where it's going to take a little bit to do a perfect blend. So if you're a beginner, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this palette, just because if you haven't worked with darker shades, you kind of want to have more lighter transition shades to start with, so that you can work on blending out darker shades. But for me, I think everything blended okay. It's not like my favorite look, but like I did something different once. I put eyeshadow on my inner corner, and usually I never do that, but I really liked how it turned out. This is the swatches without flash, by the way, just so you can see them in my natural bedroom lighting. I think that this palette's really pretty. I love the difference in tones in the purples. Like, you have more of a purpley tone, you have more of a brown tone, you have more of like a reddish tone, if that makes sense, and it just makes me happy. That being said, the look I did was really simple. I honestly used basically all the mattes and all the shimmers. I really just wanted a super blended, grungy look. I took the eyeshadows into my inner corner a lot more than I would typically, but I really like how it turned out, so hopefully you guys like the look too. I ended up using the darkest shade for a eyeliner, just kind of patting it on, and I think that turned out pretty cool as well. I don't know, it's not my favorite look I've ever done, but I also like it, and this palette just speaks to me on so many different levels. Like, when I look at this, I think of, okay, I could have that matte on the lid, that matte on the lid, that matte on the lid, I could have that shimmer on the lid. Like, I think of so many possibilities. I think the next look I'm going to do is like a halo eye. This shade is my favorite. It's like this lilac-y, light champagne-y purple shimmer. That's definitely my favorite shimmer in the palette. It's very beautiful. Palette retails for $14 US, and it has their smaller eyeshadow pans that are typically in their 9-pan palettes, which makes me happy. I don't need a palette to have the big pans Colourpop uses. I'm never gonna go through them. Like, it's very, very rare for me to hit pan on a palette, let alone like go through an eyeshadow completely. So I prefer when Colourpop does the smaller pans, just because you get more bang for your buck, really. God, why? I feel like such an old person saying that. But yeah, and my cat's here. Say hi, Effie. Say hi. But yeah, this palette just makes me happy and makes me think of like grungy fall vibes. But I mean, honestly, all year round, this would be my go-to. And like, this would be something that like I would wear like for my birthday or something. You think too that with this palette you have a decent amount of options because of the different tones of the shades. Like, you could definitely make it pull more pinky or more purpley or more red toned or more brown toned depending on the shades that you utilize. Personally, for me, I'd probably always go for like the more purplier route, but I could definitely see myself just using all these shades together as well. Like, I love these dark grungy tones so much. It's hard to see, but there's a little bit of staining, and on the eyes there was a little bit of staining, but it wasn't anything bad. Honestly, I just use my cellar water to remove my makeup and it all works out. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you subscribe. Comment down below any videos you'd like to see me do. Go follow my Instagram and TikTok, Makeup by Tasha XO, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Chloe, say bye. Say bye. Hey, you. Hi. How's a pretty girl?
What's going on? You're crazy, Effie. You're crazy. Kick him in the face.
Kick him in the face. Yeah, you get him.
Here. Sure, slam down.
Look at that. I'll fucking get you.
Pissed off now. Yeah, really pissed.
See, look at Simon. He just wants to go under because he knows that that's boy's move. He says, "Stop. I'm older than you. Stop." You get him, boy. You show him who's the older brother. Hey.